It's a special day. Look, I'm wearing my Batman t-shirt because I do see myself as a superhero. Hello, everybody watching out there in internet land. My name is Flippin' Marks and welcome to your weekly Kayfabe news review. And I'm very happy and pleased to say we have a special report this evening on Charlotte Flair. Let's not stand on ceremony. Let's cut over to our reporter in the field, Harry Conrana, who is going to give us an update on everything the Queen did over the last few days.
Yes, hello Flippin', it's Harry Conrana here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to bring you the initial report as intended because a lot of people are angry who are out here. Obviously, originally the plan was we were going to do some canvassing and get some vox pops, as we call them in the biz, about how great Charlotte Flair is doing. But instead I've been told that, and this is a quote, I'm quoting, excuse my language, friends, Charlotte Flair, if I see Charlotte Flair again on any other show, I'm going to take my head and plow it into a wall. It's very, very confusing. I too have been called a piece of shit for even saying that I like Charlotte Flair, and I really don't understand what the fallout here is, because of course you watch Major League Baseball, you watch the NFL, you watch soccer, you watch all these sports, you expect to see your stars each and every week, but these people, these individuals, these fans, they do not want to see Charlotte Flair anymore. And in fact, I need to get out of Dodge because they're looking at me quite in the wrong way. This is Harry Conrana signing out. It's madness here. It's carnage.
Goodness. Okay. Well, we'll try and get an update from Harry later on. I mean, what is wrong with people these days? What is wrong with people these days? Why on earth would you be so enraged about Charlotte Flair being such a success in world wrestling entertainment? I mean, do you get mad at other sports stars that do well? Of course you do, because you put your own failures onto them and you can't understand why they succeed, whereas you have your face in the toilet sniffing a crap you did earlier that day. But in honor of Charlotte Flair, who, like I say, did compete on WWE SmackDown, WWE NXT TakeOver, and WWE Raw, and does seem ready to take on Asuka for the World Championship, or Nia Jax, should things go bad for the Empress of Tomorrow this Sunday, we here at Kayfabe News have put together a little list of other superstars that have pulled double duty just to prove that even though they did okay, they've got nothing on the Queen. We'll start off with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31. As you know, earlier in the night, he took on Randy Orton, who tried to kill his skull with the most spectacular RKO we've ever seen, and it kind of scrambled Seth Rollins' brains up so much, he decided to get involved in the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar main event, where he did indeed cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase and steal the championship for his first ever title reign. He then absolutely destroyed it all by teaming up with Triple H and the Authority, like the sniveling piece of crap he is, and it probably leads to where he is now in 2020 as the leader of a cult. And I ask you this, Seth Rollins, is your mother proud? Is your father proud? Of course they're not. You could have had it all, and all you've done is turn your back on your friends. Like I say, acted like a criminal when it comes to prestigious championships, and now you think you can make amends by turning other people the wrong way. I will tell you this, no mother or father ever looks at their son and goes, I'm so glad they're in charge of a cult. You should be ashamed. In fact, I spit on you. We will go back 22 years to 1998, where Mick Foley also appeared as his three faces of Foley in the Raw Rumble. And to this day, I cannot believe this, because not only did we have Mick Foley himself, but we had Cactus Jack and we had Dude Love. Now, I was always very perturbed, and I still am, that WWE didn't sit Mr. Foley down with some kind of psychiatrist to address his split personality disorder, I guess we will call it. Why he was allowed to run amok, I don't know, but it just goes to show that WWE does have a difficult history when it comes to this kind of thing, and we obviously hope that Mick Foley is doing better today, although he is a liar. Don't forget, we had him on the show, and it turned out that his big Hell in a Cell drop turned out to be nothing than a forgery and a fake, so I take it back. In fact, I spit on you too. Moving on a couple of years from there, the Olympic gold medalist, who obviously was an amateur wrestler and finally went professional after he had won a gold medal, Kurt Angle took on Shane McMahon at the 2001 King of the Ring, and before this, he was also in the King of the Ring tournament itself. But no one ever talks about that competition anymore, because as you will know, if you've seen this event, Kurt Angle decided to throw Shane McMahon, the son of Vince McMahon, who runs WWE, through a pane of glass. And when the glass didn't break and Shane landed on his head, Kurt Angle did it again and again and again, clearly trying to murder another human being. Well, I'll tell you this, Mr. Kurt Angle, we don't appreciate murderers here on Kayfabe News. So you know what I'm going to do? Spit on you. In that same year too, Chris Jericho also wanted to try and double up on this kind of procedure, and he became the World Wrestling Federation champion, his first ever big title win in the history of the earth, when he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in one night. I mean, that is quite the feat, and it is a feat that Chris Jericho would essentially live off for the next few months until Triple H returned and absolutely ruined him at WrestleMania 18. And you'll remember throughout that period, Jericho also shacked up with Triple H's ex-wife, Stephanie McMahon. And that's an affair. I know they were having marital problems, Chris, but what right did you have to get in the middle of both of them? And after thinking about it, I spit on you. And we will end with WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan finally managed to prove he was more than a B-plus player. You knew it, I knew it, and the only people that didn't know it was Triple H and his bunch of cronies, where of course he defeated the game in the opening match of the night before going on to the main event to beat both Randy Orton and Dave Bautista for the WWE title. I mean, just thinking about it now, I get a little bit emotional. Daniel Bryan is obviously the greatest human being on the planet. The only thing that was very disappointing about his run in WWE is when he would try to save the earth. He tried to be a conservationist, he tried to be an environmentalist, and the fans turned on him. It made me sick to my stomach, and in fact it made me so sick, no, I'm not going to spit on you, you don't deserve my liquid. Elsewhere on Raw, I think we do need to get mad about the aforementioned Nia Jax, because after a 30-minute war between Charlotte, Flair and Asuka, which I was so invested in, at one stage I realized that my shirt had just come off my body. Nia decided to run in and distract Asuka, and when the Empress turned around, she was met by a big boot from Charlotte Flair, who did indeed get the 1, 2, 3. And Charlotte Flair didn't show any humility in this. She accepted this cheating win, and now we will have to see what's going to happen. Maybe this is why the people who were angry earlier are so mad, because I wanted to see who was the better woman, and now I have no idea. Is it Charlotte? Is it Asuka? I will never have a clue how I'm meant to sleep at night. Huh? Do you ever think about that? Nia Jax, how am I meant to sleep at night? Also, Nia Jax is not your real name. I am going to use all the resources here at Kayfabe News, which is just one of those like ping pong balls that you smack against a tennis racket thing, table tennis thing. We don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to use all the resources we do have to figure out what your real name is and figure out how you managed to worm yourself in to the position that you have. You disgust me, Nia Jax. Disgusting. Given that we are just a few days before Backlash as well, I want to express my concern for the current WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, who is of course going against Bobby Lashley. Over the last few weeks, Bobby Lashley has proven that he has worked so hard in the gym and the training center, or wherever he's been going, to perfect the full Nelson maneuver, that when we went off air last week, we never figured out why or how Drew McIntyre was able to break out of it. So if Lashley does indeed lock that on this Sunday, what is Drew McIntyre going to do? Is he just going to wait it out? Is he going to wait till he passes out? Because either way, it means he will lose that championship. And he's very cocky, is old McIntyre. There was a lovely episode of the VIP Lounge, who of course is hosted by Bobby Lashley's manager, MVP, who wanted to have his client, his whatever you want to call it, on his show. And instead, Drew McIntyre just interrupted. I don't see that on Graham Norton. I don't see that on Conan O'Brien. I don't see that on Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. Who do you think you are, Drew McIntyre? I respect you to a certain degree, but if I tune in to Conan, like I say, and I expect to have an interview with Tom Cruise, I don't want you to just walk out and start doing the interview yourself. Understand the protocols of television. As a man in the entertainment industry, I expect certain standards, and you disrespected them. You disrespected them, Drew McIntyre. You better have your wits about you. Come Backlash, because a backlashing is what you shall be experiencing. Before we do end tonight's episode 2, I would just like to put out a very serious public service announcement, and please do all that you can. Ring your local hotlines and whatnot. We will provide you with the information. But it's been a few weeks, and there's been no sign of Bianca Belair. There's been no sign of Shayna Baszler. There has been no sign of Natalya, and the latter one we here at Kayfabe News are very concerned about, because the last time we did see Natty, she was having a row with her husband, TJ, on the phone. And there was, the commentators didn't say anything during Raw. No officials have given us word. There's nothing on WWE.com. So we just would like to say, along with these people and Cedric Alexander and Ricochet and other tag teams that have been debuted on Raw and now we don't know, please reach out. Please let us know that you're okay. You have friends and family who are here for you, and whatever you are going through, we will help you. Not me, personally. I have my own schedule I have to keep. But as a man that dedicates 180 minutes to watching Raw every single week, the fact that you have just vanished into the abyss without a peep, well, it's very worrying, and we hope to see you soon, and we hope you're well. And finally, we shall talk about the Iconics here, who of course have a tag team match for the Women's Championships this Sunday at the pay-per-view, and just had awful, terrible luck at the start of Raw when they came up against Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I mean, Charlotte Flair and Asuka have never teamed together before, and they were falling out throughout the match, and yet they were still able to get a win over Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. I don't think they stand a chance in hell at Backlash. I mean, how are they going to defeat Sasha Banks and Bayley? How the hell are they even going to get one over Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross? You lost to a team of enemies, of absolute enemies. It must have been hard enough for WWE officials to get Charlotte Flair and Asuka to agree to that. I mean, we never actually saw how that relationship came together, but I assume it went down when the cameras were off and we were watching adverts. It's unbelievable. Iconics, if you do not win this Sunday and then you get another championship match, I will be outraged. Outraged. I mean, look at Andrade. Andrade went and he won. He deserved, he got his number one contendership for the US title, and he shall be taking on Apollo Crews. I mean, he stole it, but hey, that's just the ups and downs of professional wrestling. I thought it was, again, something else that was very, just shocking. Shocking, really. You put yourself in a position to be in a number one contender match or the title match, and you can't even prove to me that you're worthwhile being there. We should be moaning about that. We should be moaning about that on the internet. Instead, we're all moaning about Charlotte Flair for reasons I can't understand. You know, she didn't lose at TakeOver in your house, by the way. She got screwed over there. And then last night, she had 2 victories. So you can all shut your holes. Shut your pie holes. Right, that's it. Like the video, share the video. Subscribe to Kayfabe News. My name is Flippin' Marks. Stop being idiots and start seeing the truth.